What's going on, guys? I'm sorry I didn't film this, but I just got done doing a new jug, new top end. I media blasted this to get it best as I could, matching with that. Cleaned this up. I forgot to media blast it, but you can see where I cleaned it up pretty good there. Just got all the clutching done, so we did a full top end, jug, timing chain, piston, rings. I came in here and I did the clutches as well, brand new primary clutches and brand new secondary clutches, or not secondary, I'm sorry, brand new change clutches, the centrifugals. Here was his old centrifugals here. As you can tell, there is no meat left on those suckers. So that was primaries. His bell is right here. Some pretty deep grooves in his bell. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a lip there. Gave him a new one-way. Here was his oil filter. Broken head bolts, had to get some new head bolts. Got those for him. Also did the new clutch springs as well. Looks like his have already been changed because there are the upgraded HD ones. And here is one of his factory ones. Might not have been changed because just the thickness of them and the tallness. But like I said, that's an HD one. That is a stock one. One-way bearing. He had a good one-way bearing, but I went ahead and replaced it brand new anyway. Yeah, here's his oil filter and all the oil that came out of his oil filter cap. Put a new oil filter on there, 2 new O-rings. He's complaining about not being able to run real quick. Starting off was hard, but once he got it started, it would run like a scalded egg. Well, here's his piston, and this is a Nomura piston. There are his clutches. His jug is right there. Broke a couple bolts off in it, that's why we had to get new head bolts. His timing chain is right there. He did buy a Nomura piston kit. It was like 75 bucks. Came with all the gaskets. I said that one, that one, that one too. That was a head gasket. There is another head gasket in that. Here is the piston with the rings. This is a brand new one. I'm not a big fan of these because they probably only last, if you're riding every weekend like this guy is, about once or twice a week. But here is the new piston. You can see the difference. It does say exhaust on that side, intake on that side. This was a Nomura piston, new piston, so I'll probably have this up for sale for, I don't know, there's rings in there as well, probably about 50 bucks. With the gaskets and everything. I'm not a big fan of them. Like I said, I replaced it with a Shindy piston kit. I love those Shindys. Those Shindys are amazing. Every top end on a 300 I've done. Never done a jug. This is the first jug I've done, but this is the first jug I've done. But all the ones that I've done without the jug, just taking the old jug and redoing it, it comes out pretty good with the Shindy. Just do a regular size Shindy. I did lap the valves. I semi-port and polished it. I just went in there with a little sanding disc everything, got it all nice and smooth. I don't know if you can tell in there, but he was blowing a lot of oil out of there. Lap the valves, new valve springs, new valve seats. Pretty much a full top end on this thing, guys. Whenever you do a top end on a 300, or matter of fact, any top end, you want to go ahead and do lap the valves, clean the head up, do new valve seats, because a lot of times everyone passes that up and then they get down the road and they're like, oh, my four-wheeler's smoking again. Or it continues to smoke after. Let's go ahead and do the valve seats. You're already in it. It's $2-3 and keeps you from having to tear the head down again. Now we did do the change clutch, the centrifugals, like I said, and the one-way bearing. I put a used bell on there. I had a bell from a parts motor, a 300 that I put on there. It did have a little bit of grooving, but not as much as his did. I did all the new regular clutches as well. Soak those. You gotta soak them, guys. The change clutch and the regular clutch, gotta soak them. I soak them for at least 24 hours. These I soaked for a good week before I actually put them in. Had some issues with it going in because it wouldn't line up for whatever reason. Figured it out, and the way I've never done a two-wheel drive. This is the first two-wheel drive one, and I had the motor laying on its side, and this shifter right here, it did not want to line up correctly. I couldn't figure it out. Finally, I figured out that the shifter was just up just a little bit. You got to center the shifter and make sure it's good centered up when you go to put everything back on. Otherwise, it will wreak havoc on you. I do not know why. Same thing on those 420s. I don't know why, but it'll wreak havoc. You won't be able to get stuff lined up, and it took me probably 3 or 4 times. Almost dropped the washer off in the bottom of the motor. Almost had to split the case. That would have pissed me off because I just put all this together. Then I would have had to order new gaskets, head gasket, and all that stuff. Like I said, I got all that in. The kit that we got also did come with a new O-ring for back here on the back of the intake boot. Put that one on. Came with a new copper washer. Here's a copper washer. Every time you take your exhaust off, you need to put this copper washer on. As you can see, it does that, and it will fall out on you. It's a crush washer, so it'll flatten out whenever you tighten your bolts down. Now, he bought the kit, and it came with all of this stuff as well. You got your, this is the Numura kit. The Shindy kit comes with the green, as you can see. That is for your cam chain tensioner. Did that. All the little O-rings. There's some valve seals in there. Little O-rings here and there. There's your valve cover gasket O-rings. I'm not too sure what these 2 O-rings go to. Haven't figured that out yet. Never really had that happen. So I'm not too sure what those 2 gaskets are for. That little small one and that. And then for whatever reason it came with these too. So I have no earthly idea. And then here's the kit from the Shindy, I guess. These were the valve seats. He actually ordered valve seats, but all the top end kits came with valve seats. So there's some more. There's a washer. I'm pretty sure that goes right there, or maybe right there. But both of those were good. Didn't need to change them out. This was the O-ring off of this right there. Sorry about this video, guys. I'm just making it as I go. Trying to clean up because tomorrow I'm putting the motor back in and I'm going to crank it. Before I crank it, I fill it full of oil. I kick-start it over probably about 10 or 12 times just to get the oil wrapped around everything. That way, if something does happen, I know I've got oil. It's not my fault. I've got oil all over everything that's in the bottom end. I am doing laundry right now. I got company coming over. My pile of parts, I'm going to be selling all my 300 stuff. I'm actually trying to get away from working on 300s right now. Trying to move to working on 420s, like mine, 420s, 500s, 520s. They're just simpler. They're easier to work on. You don't have as much trouble with it. And this one's about to get torn down and completely, not completely redone, but a couple things, like my radiator relocate's getting redone. I did have to put a new winch cable on it, and I goofed up, and I bought a 6,500 pound winch rope, and it was too thick, so I have to wrap all this around just so it won't ball up inside of my winch cable. You can see I did go through some mud, and it got all over the tires. I have had to replace brakes. That's the first time in 2 years I've had to replace brakes. They were the stock brakes. I replaced those. Just recently did a full fluid flush on it. I am getting a 69% gear reduction for this thing because it loves it during the regular season of mud, like when there's a lot of water and stuff, but during the summer it's thick. It does not like it. I've done tie rods so far on it. I have done the new high lifter shocks, the lifts, and I did get a new front plastic piece sitting over there. to get rid of these two holes because I've got another update on that one coming up here pretty soon on what actually happened, because I got some pretty cool stuff that I actually did to it here recently. Put it in the shop, one of my buddies, and he hooked me up on it. Here is the 300. It's a 95, I believe, 300 two-wheel drive. It's actually pretty clean. The tank, that is a gorgeous tank inside and out. Of course, it's all factory. Even got the original Honda key in it. We've got the batteries disconnected right now. I've got to find him a new fuel filter. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Going to do a couple other things. I could not locate a new filter there. Maybe not. I'll find out. I gotta go to Cycle Gear up the street tomorrow and see. I don't think they're gonna have one. I know they'll have the fuel filter. I'll put his battery on charge overnight tomorrow, and we will get after it and go. Here's his uni fuel filter or air filter. It's just all torn to crap. Just old. They wear out. Kind of a maintenance thing you do once a year. I even do it to mine, even though I got a K&N. I do it to mine. Yeah, guys, that is about it. Just doing a little cleanup here and there. Trying to get some things done. The kit that I bought actually came with a new spark plug and a new O-ring for his oil drain plug. So I'll be going in as well. Guys, that is about it. I'm just sitting here cleaning up the shop, getting everything ready to go together, because as soon as he gets his done, this thing is getting pulled apart. I'm going to do a couple other upgrades on this thing before I go to a big event that I've got planned and been wanting to go to. But hopefully I wasn't too scatterbrained here, guys. I'm sorry about it. That is about it. I will catch y'all tomorrow when the motor is in and it is running. And I will let y'all know how it does and let y'all know how the customer likes it.